guys, and thank you for watching my videos. FStorm Render version 1.0 is coming out, and I know that there's very little tutorials for FStorm online, at least video tutorials, and I know that people are asking for tutorials like every day, so I thought why not start making some now with the commercial release of FStorm. So this video I will dedicate to the adaptive sampling and noise threshold, how that works and how you can use that to speed up your renderings. So basically, adaptive sampling controls FStorm because FStorm is adaptive, which means that if a certain part of the picture reaches a noise threshold, a certain amount of noise, it will stop rendering because that will be considered finished. Which means that FStorm will focus all the GPU power on the parts that are still noisy. And you can actually see that you have a path here called noise levels. If you go here, you can see that black parts are, let's do like this. Black parts are totally noise-free areas. Red parts are noisy areas that are being rendered. And green parts, let's see if I can get some green parts. Here we go. Green parts are areas that still have some noise, but they are not being rendered because they have reached the noise threshold value, this value. And that means that it will not render this, it will focus all the rendering power on the green parts. If I lower this, you can see that those become red. Oops. Like this. So the lower value, the less noise you will get, but of course longer render times. If you increase the value, you will see that more areas will be green, which means that you just told FStorm this amount of noise is enough. So, and you can actually calibrate this, because if I know that this area here is a problem area. I know that this is where a lot of noise is being introduced. I can set it here. So if I want to render for, let's say, 5,000 samples, and I should explain this one as well. Actually, this one, minimum samples, gives you the control. You're just telling FStorm that when it has reached 2% of the maximum render samples, so 2% out of 5,000 samples, the adapter will kick in. So the default setting is 5, so 5, that will be 250 samples. So before the image has rendered for 250 samples, there will be no adaptive sampling at all. But when it reaches this percent of this value, this render samples, the adaptive kicks in. So I like to have it quite low, like 2%. And if I now render this, you will see that the green areas, this is considered finished now. It is pretty noisy. It's really noisy. So if I lower the noise threshold, you can see that when the areas are becoming green, it's a little bit less noise than before. If I set it to 0.01 instead, I think this is enough. This is noise-free enough, I think. So now I've calibrated my noise threshold so that the whole image will be this amount of noise. And then FStorm, of course, takes care of the rest. So if I now re-render this, we can look at the noise level. So up here it's becoming green, which means that they are finished. I love this render. Oh, it's super fast. I actually I replicated this exact scene in Corona, and it took 21 minutes to render on my i7 6-core processor. This takes like 40 seconds. So you can see after 40 seconds we have 99.7 noise-free area, which means that 99.7% of the image is green. So basically 99.7% of the image has reached this noise threshold value. And I think it's good enough. So this is a good way to speed up your renderings, and if you just set this correctly, you have very good control of how FStorm will distribute the rendering power so that hard areas will get more power, basically. And I hope this is clear, and if it's not, just please send me a message about it and ask me, whatever. And yeah, good luck.